audience again, so...
Good. Is this on? Hey. Lori and Laura. All right, where you at?
So, all right, we got some questions going on. You got way in the back there, okay.
All right, oh.
Hi, I was just wondering what it feels like to be a sex icon.
I have to ask Rob Pattinson.
Up front here.
Alright, you probably get this all the time. I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
He's blinded by the lights.
But you're my favorite person in Twilight. I was wondering if I could have a hug.
Stop with the hugs, people.
Okay, got the mic in the back there?
Back. Over here.
In the back of the seat.
Okay.
It's a little girl. In red.
Was Caroline the character that you wanted to try out for?
Yes, it was the character that I read for in the book. I'll tell you the story really quickly. My agents called and said, "Do you want to do a vampire movie?" And I said, "No." So just not into like blood and gore and guts kind of movies. And they said, "No, it's based on this book Twilight. I think you'll like it." So they also said Catherine Hardwicke was directing it, and I loved Catherine's work. So I said, "Great, set up the meeting. I'll read the book." And they said, "Well, the meeting's tomorrow."
Something like lots of notice.
Yeah, so I said, "All right, we'll send over the book." And they sent it over like 5 p.m. and I read it, and I couldn't stop reading it, and I was up till like 2 in the morning reading this book. And so I finished reading it. I went in a little sleepy, and met with Catherine, and I read for Carlisle. And the rest is history.
Right here in front. Okay, I now know that you have family nights. How hard with all of, Twilight's kind of been even a bigger break than like movies like Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah.
How hard has it been to spend that time with your family?
You know, when you have a regular job, you go to work 9 to 5 usually. So most of the day you're away from your family, and then you have dinner with them, and then you sit down and you read them a book, and then you go to sleep. My job's just different. Sometimes I have very concentrated periods where I'm at home, and then I have concentrated periods where I'm away. So I'm always about quality over quantity, and when we are at home, I try to spend a lot of time with them and do fun things. I try to be a fun dad.
Steve,
Yeah.
We have over here. Over here.
Where?
To the right, to the right.
Stand up.
Over here, she's waving.
A real Slim Shady, please stand up.
Hi, I was wondering if there's any other hidden secrets in Twilight the movie that we wouldn't have noticed the first time. Like I understand James has wedding rings that he stole off his victims that he's wearing.
Yeah.
His costumes. Are there any other little things like that in the characters or the settings?
I can't really speak for other characters. For me, I kind of added scarves to Carlisle, if you've noticed. I just kind of felt like it made him feel more proper, like a proper gentleman. And I also felt like it might be one of those things that because he was bit, he's been afraid to expose his neck. One of those things is like when something happens and you have a fear inside and it just kind of comes out subtly. So I talked to Catherine and I said, I think it'd be fun if Carlisle always had a scarf. I think even in the baseball scene I had a little scarf. And and so for me that's a little tidbit.
Okay, right here in front.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, if Carlisle was a candy, what flavor would he be?
I think it'd be a Tootsie Pop. Hard on the outside, chewy in the middle.
Alright, over here to the right. To the right.
Yeah.
Who was the most fun to film with?
That's a tough question because I really enjoyed everybody. Rob and Kristen were really focused, and I enjoyed working with them a lot. But whenever I was with the whole Cullen family, we really were like a family. We had kind of hung out a lot together, so they all became my kids. And it was fun.
Okay, right here.
Yeah.
I understand you took your daughters to the Twilight premiere. What was it like for them?
Overwhelming, I think. I just took my oldest daughter. She's 11. And which was kind of nice because most of the stuff that I've done, really isn't for children. Or 11-year-olds at least. So for a long time, my kids were like, I know what mom does, but what do you do? So this was a nice opportunity for me to be able to share what I do with her, and she was a fan of the book, so it was very nice to do that. I mean, I was so busy, in the Twilight premiere, doing interviews and stuff, so I didn't really get a chance to see her that much during the night, but she really enjoyed the movie, and she enjoyed being a part of the whole thing. And then by the time we got to the party afterwards, she was just exhausted.
So she's read it. Has your wife read the books now too, or?
What's that?
Question from stage. So has your wife read the books now too, or no?
Oh yeah, she's read all 4 books, and she's a big fan.
Oh, cool.
Okay, over there with Steve, near the door.
Okay.
Hi. What was it like to play like a very old, like structured vampire?
Well, I feel very old, so. I was a lot older than, I'm about 10 years older than the rest of the cast, so. The patriarch of the family was easy for me because I have a family and I have 3 kids. So I understood that part of Carlisle. And I'm pretty compassionate, so I understood that part of him. I think what I really worked on with him was, trying to bring all the knowledge of all the years that he lived, onto the screen, which isn't exactly the easiest thing to do. So what I did was I did a lot of research over the years of where he would have gone and the places that he would have gone to and what was happening in those time eras. And so just giving me that knowledge made me feel like I could carry that onto the screen. And thank you. And also, the way Carlisle moves, and the way he talks, I felt like it was a throwback from where he once came from. I mean, a lot of people were like, are you going to do an English accent? And I didn't feel like that was right for it. I felt like he hasn't been in England in a long time, and he wants to fit into his surroundings, so it would have been, lost through the ages. I mean, I grew up in Queens and I had a really thick accent. And I lost that a long time ago. So for me, I kept like a small, subtle tint of it, but I didn't want to go full blown with it. And those are the things.